Welcome everyone, Costin here with the campaign guide for Malekith in Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires. I've made the point that Malekith is the worst of the Dark Elven Legendary Lords. He's got one of the worst starting positions because he's got Valkia to the north that's going to be aggressive against him. And he's also got Grombrindal to the west, on top of many other issues. His initial province is especially vulnerable to the many threats he's going to deal with. You can tackle that because the Dark Elves are a pretty strong race overall, but it is going to require a plan. You need to know that you are going to have to deal with Grombrindal. You start with a war with the Minor Skaven faction. It also starts at war with Grombrindal, but it's probably best to just take Harkaldra and then make a deal with the Skaven. You're not necessarily that far off from it either. So I'm playing this with no mods except Toggle Fog of War and Better Camera mod, which don't affect the gameplay in any way. I'm using the Toggle Fog of War mod just to show you the starting position. So Valkia is going to be able to confederate these fellows right here in the Mung very quickly. Now I think I should probably declare war on Grand very quickly myself to take their territory so that I can make friends with Valkia and they'll deal with Grombrindal. I'm gonna start by getting Nagaron as a Dark Elf hold to level 2, and then I'm going to take Malekith to deal with Clan Septic early on here. Okay, now the army that I have here has a Fire Mage, 2 Bleak Swords, 1 Blackguard of Nagaron, which aren't particularly great, Dread Spears, and 2 units of Dark Shards. The Dark Shards are the unshielded version, however, so that is obviously going to have some consequences for you as a player. My advice is try and keep your chariots alive, try and protect your Dark Shards, maybe protect the Blackguard by moving them backwards, but don't throw them in the front line because they're incredibly vulnerable to ranged units. The reason they're vulnerable is they're not shielded. So shielded units like the Bleak Swords have a high chance of resisting missile attacks because they've got the Silver Shield, which will block a substantial amount of ranged power coming their way. Alright. So Malekith does start with some spells, some abilities by default, and it is probably in your best interest to try and take advantage of that situation. Alright, so we got more clan rats coming in from the ground. And we are just gonna deal with that very quickly. Okay, I'm gonna send Malekith to deal with their lord. And use the Dark Shards to tackle these guys. Alright, those are dead. Oh! Alright, they've done some damage there. Try and eliminate as much of this army as possible, because otherwise they'll escape. I would not necessarily recommend you auto-resolve this though, because you might take significantly more damage on certain units that you don't want to take damage on if you do auto-resolve it. Fight it, win it, it's over. Decisive victory. Okay, so that's a victory. I almost always recommend of the post-battle options to get the slaves. Unless you're going to get very little of them, then choose murder captives. Ransoming is not necessarily going to be too important. You're going to get a lot more, so that their army got eliminated because it's the initial army. Most other armies would have walked away from that, but yeah, that initial army is worth fighting on your own manually. This one is just going to auto-resolve, take damage, you know, big deal. And I could sack it, or I could loot and occupy it. I'm gonna loot and occupy it despite the public order penalty. Most of the time you do want, when it comes to it, you're gonna want to sack and then occupy, because although it will reduce the level of the settlement by 2, that's not really gonna matter early on in the campaign too much, but although it's gonna reduce it by 2, you will gain more money and it won't affect the public order by that much. Either way, so now that I've gotten this province, I am going to do 2 things. I'm going to demand highborn hostages for the sake of control, and I'm also going to get the Dark Elf manors, because that's going to give me 20 growth in this, and I do want to grow it very quickly, and I am going to start recruiting Dark Shards. Okay, with that sorted out, let's see if Clan Septic will be willing to get the peace treaty. It does feel like they're not going to be willing to do it. I'm going to get a trade agreement with Harganef, and I'm going to get the non-aggression pact and trade agreement with Karen Carr. They're not going to last for a long time, though if you are playing Malekith, they do start with grief. And that's actually a genuine benefit to you, because having grief under your control is not usually worth it. Research-wise, get founded on tyranny, because this will unlock a bunch of options, but really, that 10 growth in itself is the main reason. I'm gonna get Rune Marcher, as I've talked in many guides. Get Rune Marcher, Inspiring Presence, then free red line skills to improve your army. For her, gonna get Firebolt, then I'm gonna get Kindle Fame, Burning Head, all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not going to do anything else here, except that's 400. How much am I going to lose slave-wise? Not really a lot, so there's not going to be any slave usage except from the port, but that's still going to take a while, so I'm going to use this to improve the public order here. I'm still going to lose 20, sure, but it's not necessarily going to be substantial. I'm going to repair this. I looted and occupied it for the slaves, not necessarily so much for some other benefits.
Who seeks the dark convent?
And next up, I am going to go after Grand. One of the things to say about the Dark Elves is that you can reach a very high level of income from sacking settlements. You do need slaves, though, to enable the right. All your rights don't cost money, they cost slaves. So you do need a decent amount of them to be able to make that happen. Now I'm basically going to ignore Clan Septic. If they show up for Calcaldra again, whatever. But I'm looking to make some deals with Valkia. So I've gotten a light right unlocked. I do have 3 of them. For the Black Ark, and I do want to get the Black Ark as quickly as possible, I'm going to need the slave pens building. The way to get the slave pens building is, well, if we look at it, slave pens are a tier 2 building, so once I get to tier 2, I'll be able to get access to them. Make no mistake, this might sound like a really easy starting situation, but it absolutely isn't. Because you've got Grumbrindle, you've got your good old friend, the Leafanar, who absolutely despises you. I'm sure you would even ally Valkia if you could. Now, I'm going to make a deal with Karen Carr for a trade agreement, just to improve my economy for a bit. Not going to make a deal with them yet. Harganef might be worth me pursuing a deal with. Let's see what we got. It might be worth getting that military access with them right there. But yeah, I'm just going to keep getting Dark Shards. I will want them until I can get the Hulls of Mustering tier 2 and then get Dark Shards with shields. But I think for at least one of the army, I'm just going to have a lot of these regular Dark Shards. There's a mod that gives you a Warband upgrade. I would recommend using that. I don't want to play with mods. at the moment, but yeah.
Bandying words with
So
you
just
and
get military access with her and end the turn. Do have a bit of a slave decay, but not necessarily too much. Now, one of the things I could do, and maybe I should do it in Harkaldra after this point, it's like, yeah, I'm going to move Malekith's army to Ashrak, sure, and I'm going to take it over. But one of the things I could do is just get the second army and start getting recruitment over there with that second army to be able to get a lot of units, and to stop the Skaven from counterattacking if push comes to shove. So he's gotten an outpost over there. He's just gonna force march over here to Ashrak, and I am going to. Well, yeah, I think it's worth it. So recruiting a lord. Now you have various lord options: Dreadlords, female Dreadlords, High Beastmaster, and Supreme Sorceresses. I think generally the Supreme Sorceress is your best option, in particular magic. But there are some that are good, especially if they have the Cruel trait, because that would give you a great deal of income from sacking elements and raiding. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Shadow one that has a benefit to... campaign movement range. Now, you don't have global recruitment.
Do not dare to look at me as if I have been...
She might take the settlement. Yes. Sure.
Unparalleled.
Now!
But that's fine.
Lord of the Black Tower.
I don't want to be Valkyrie to the punch, so to... Now, hopefully she doesn't declare war on me, but that is a possibility. Or she might attack Ashrak. Alright, she's just raised it to the ground. I'll take it over. So I've avoided declaring war on Grond for a while. The lack of global recruitment may be a bit of an issue, but you have the Black Arks to more than make up for it.
I hate snow.
Oh yes, you do hate snow, we know that. You're edgy Anakin.
I claim this place.
Alright, so I'm gonna need to resettle this. Let's see.
Make it fast, and know that I always get what I want.
Alright, she would barely give me anything there.
Well,
I command.
But I'm not gonna do anything right there.
the Dark Convent.
Okay. One more unit of Dark Shards.
King of Nagara.
So I've taken that settlement before it could get under control. I'm gonna take the Chill Road before Valkia decides to ruin my day. She has a tendency of doing so. I might move that army from Harkaldra to close to the region, so I can have a full stack on Malekith and then disband it potentially. I mean, if the Skaven show up, alright, fair enough, but if they don't, then that army is just wasted. Besides, they've got other issues. Grombrindle is a problem, obviously. Okay, so I did on Tyranny over here. And with that, I am going to get Battle as business for the extra income from post-battle loot, and then I'll, with that, I'll get Chartered Piracy. Oh yeah.
I am the Witch King.
So I'm gonna move Malekith to the very border here.
Magic.
Move her here. Now, I do want the slave pins because I do want to get that Black Ark quickly, but for now, just get 2 units of Bleak Swords. Actually, does Malekith have? Yeah, he has 2 Dread Spears, so I think Bleak Swords are better in this situation, but I do want to get the Black Ark as quickly as possible. Oh, so we've encountered the Legions of Chaos. Remember, you are allied with him. And I think it's a military alliance, if I'm not mistaken. So you're allied with Malice Darkblade. Now, they've moved an army over there. Let's see if Valkia is going to be willing to pay me to declare war on Grond. You want the Grand region for yourself because it's a very, very good region. It's a very good province. It's got that gold mine. It's got a lot on offer. Okay. Huh.
If you come for blood, it will only be your own that shall pour. These terms.
Now, I want at least a non-aggression pact with them. The reason for that,
Your desire?
I shall enjoy this.
the reason I want that
Supreme
non-aggression
sorceress of
pact
Grant.
is with it,
Ridiculous.
No. Seeking
I can focus on Grumbrindle.
Merciless host. Attack.
Like, I'm just gonna sack it.
Merciless.
All-powerful sorceress. Who seeks me? Behold true power.
We shall not rest.
Alright, she's gonna get all these units so she can replenish this turn, and then I'll take it next turn. I underestimated
All shall kneel before me.
or overestimated the amount of movement points I had. I'm going to get Line Breaker.
Your desire?
The Witch King is victorious.
And I'm gonna want to get Sawyer.
Dark sorceress.
You move.
Dark Lord, you shall speak
Alright,
and I shall
get the
listen.
military access.
Vicious warrior. Cruel dreadlord.
Alright. And just get that over there. So that's gonna give me 1 hero capacity for master. You start with 1, so it's gonna be 2. I do believe you have 1 by default. Actually, I'm pretty certain you have 1 by default because I've played the campaign as Lokier Fellheart, and he can recruit masters from his Black Arks pretty quickly, but the Black Arks will not increase hero capacity. That's the thing to know about Black Arks. They're great overall, but they have that particular downside. Either way, I'm going to take the chill road this particular turn.
Fail me. Die. Don't fear them. Fear me.
Enchantress. No one can stop me.
My revenge is at hand.
The weak shall fall.
King of the Druki. Preparing an ambush. Malekith, King of Nagaroth.
The Dark Convent. We have lives to end. Dark Sorceress.
Overlord. Seeking entertainment.
The portents are good.
Okay, once the safe pens are constructed over there,
Ready.
that is going to help me a great deal. Now, one of the interesting things about the Dark Elves is that they actually tend to do better than you might expect in auto-resolve. Though not necessarily with an army like this, but once you start getting Black Arks, they will actually do pretty well in terms of their auto-resolve chances. The reason is that the auto-resolve counts heavily armored units very favorably in terms of your chances to win. Black Ark Corsairs have 80 armor by default, and they're also resistant to ranged. It's not as good of a resistance as the Silver Shields, but it's still a pretty good amount of resistance all the same. Now that army might attack me, but I'm stronger than they are.
Cold-blooded killers! Dread spears! Dark Elves!
Agreed.
The merciless host! Merciless warriors! Onward!
On to murder!
To destruction!
Alright, so I'm corner camping so that my range units don't get flanked. The Dark Riders are not really the greatest units in the world, but they are fast. And so I'm seeking to nullify their speed advantage in this particular battle by doing this. Yeah, it's not the greatest strategy in the world. It's cheap, etc., but if it wasn't the problem, I wouldn't do it, right? Alright, here they come.
Slaughter!
His magic is pretty strong, but you're not gonna have the points to spend in his magic tree, nor should you really.
Understood. Following orders. Dark Elves! Carnage away!
Alright, let's get...
Bleak swords! Terror and death! Slay them! Terror and death! Pull back! By your command! Advancing! By Cain! No survivors!
Malekith!
Alright, as melee units, they're gonna do a pretty good job there.
Attend me!
Sister of the Dark Convent!
Nagarothi! Advancing! Understood!
Alright, charge with them there.
Nagarothi! Blood for Cain! Massacre them! Onwards to murder! Die, weaklings! Merciless warriors!
Eager for blood!
Destroy!
For the king! Eager for battle!
Alright, they've activated their bonus, but mine will activate soon enough as well.
Druki! It is done! Nagarothi! Moving out! Kill everything! Druki blood for Cain!
Konda!
Blackguards! Cold-blooded killers! Make them bleed!
Okay.
Outcry and aha!
Hear my words!
Going! Massacre them! Eager for battle!
Malekith!
Merciless warriors! Sorceresses are at work!
Let's take down their leader with range fire.
Slash! Kill! Druki! We understand.
Gonna turn off guard mode there.
Blood will flow! Slay them! Die, weaklings! Dark shards!
Try and kill their leader there.
Blackguards!
And those mages too.
Malekith!
Dread spears! The merciless host!
Alright, the battle is won. A Pyrrhic victory. Very good. Alright. Gonna get the Black Ark very soon, right now. I'm gonna lay siege to ground and then I'm going to... Alright, so get the Black Ark. We need the right, but first we need the slaves, unfortunately.
Lord of the Black Tower.
This will fail. No.
Now, here's the thing you need to know. There's only 3 dark shards here, and the walls are... If you directly assault the walls, yeah, you deserve to lose. But here's what you need to know about settlement layouts in the Dark Elves. A lot of them are very vulnerable to being attacked. Not necessarily this one, actually. Surprisingly. I'm gonna give that to the Black Guard of Nagron. But even so, like, these guys, they're not gonna stand up. And yeah, I deny Valkyrie. Like, if we can get the non-aggression pact, if not the military. Alright, here we are. Your best bet is to attack a section of the wall, like this, where the towers can't shoot your units. That's precisely what I am going to do. If you can nullify the effect of towers on your units, you can win with minimal casualties in a siege.
Murderer waits! Forward!
So that tower, like, I am in a perfect golden
I
zone.
fear no one.
There. Unfortunately, yeah, that's gonna be the unfortunate effect. But even so, I do have more units than they do. Gonna send Malekith to attack the gate there. Just need to pay attention to where the ranged aspect there is. And yeah, this is how most sieges do go down. There are some towers behind the walls that are going to do some damage, sure. But even those won't be too big of an issue. As you can see right here. We're in. And we're in without anyone to hold the walls. Let's advance. In a campaign, the hardest battles are generally the initial ones. Gonna move in with these dark shards with the exception of the first two. Okay. back with that one.
I crave
And there we go. Battle is won and Grand is reduced to one single minor settlement. I'm gonna just loot and occupy it.
Lord of the Blood,
And dismiss that structure and repair over here.
King of Nagaroth.
Get more units.
Supreme Sorceress of Grant. Taking control.
I'm told you want to talk.
Pledge loyalty. Mistress.
Druki.
Yes. Bring up.
What now?
Alright, Valkia might be a problem, but I know her vassal won't declare war on me. So just get a line breaker for him. Get Burning Head, Kindle Flame, and that will be it. For her,
Sorceress of Grant.
get Dark Shards with shields. Just a couple of them until I get enough slaves for the first Black Ark.
I am the
You want Black Arks, it increases your slave capacity as well. But you do need a lot of slaves, and you're only gonna get one.
chosen of Cain.
Yeah.
Heir of Valerian.
If they attack, I'll wipe them out. Rebellion might spring up soon. But at least I've gotten the gold over there. That's the important bit. So all these many problems. They're recruiting in my territory? Alright, that's not gonna last. If they attack, I'll wipe them out with relative ease. I haven't given them the chance to recover.
Possession of the Circlet of Iron is key in gaining control of the Vortex, Your Majesty. But it must be imbued with ancient.
Ever vengeful. King Malekith. You forget yourself. Druki, bloody slaughter awaits. Shackle.
The benefit of attacking that army there is I can... Oh no, okay. A rebellion should spring up though.
Yes.
And yes, I did lose all those units, but it's not too important because then I can do this. Which is far more significant.
Unparalleled.
Get that Black Ark. And with it, Malekith can recruit some Black Ark Corsairs, which is exactly what I want him to do. And he's level 8 already. And all of Grand belongs to me.
Make it fast, and know that I always get what I want. This aids the cause.
Alright.
What? Yes. I am Malice. No help needed.
Be quick.
More than gonna pay for itself.
Yeah.
I eat you all. Consume your power. Nothing you say change that.
Well,
Death.
Stephen Warlock.
I could ignore Client Septic, but to do so would not necessarily be the wisest move in my arsenal. Considering that we do have the dwarves there, and I would barely gain anything.
Nagaroth warrior. Dreadlord. What?
So it's better in my, for me at this point.
Your desire?
Yeah.
Dreadlord of Nagaroth.
I'm gonna get, master. Two masters even. One for each army.
Master of Nagaroth.
Overlord.
That's the benefit of that right there. And with the Black Ark, I can get this to tier 2 and get Dark Shards, but really I don't need to prioritize this very quickly. It's just important that you do have a Black Ark as quickly as possible, partly because it's going to start at cooldown. Now, what's important to know is this. What is very, very important to know is that Black Arks are great for all the benefits they provide you. They give you a circle of influence that provides you various benefits dependent on the structures that are there. Be it replenishment, benefits to post-battle loot, recruit rank, all that kind of good stuff, right? So they're gonna, so Valkia's little vassal over there is just gonna shove off.
Spreading misery.
A bright future. This is real military might.
Black-hearted.
My lord.
Black
my
Arks
time,
can
my
also
talents.
attack settlements in their own right. Now I don't want to move her just now.
We shall not rest.
Alright, so I'm gonna get a bunch of these units.
Merciless.
I'm not gonna get anything more for Malekith because I'm waiting for him to get to level 12 so I can unlock either Tyrant or War Leader. I think War Leader is the better option in a lot of ways. Maybe not really, because I mean it depends on what you're looking for. So he would get. It's hard to argue with that. It really is. Lord recruit rank, +2 casualty replenishment for his army. Holy shit, that would be a lot. So you get diplomatic relations control, local province, along with construction cost benefits, growth. It's all good, but yeah, this is a lot. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Magic item drop chance, Lord recruit rank. Yeah, War Leader is better. But I'm gonna need, okay, so I'm gonna need 4 points. I already have 2. I'm 8. Well, if I spend the points, those 2 points now, it will be pretty good. It will work. But I think getting absolute power would probably be the smarter move. I think upgrading magic tree wise can be. Oh shit.
I will allow this.
That might not be the wisest move in my arsenal. Alright. Yeah, so I'm going to have to deal with that rebellion.
Ever onward. Guided by authority. Feel my power.
Alright, so some bleak swords. No, some dread spears. I'll deal with all of that. While Malekith prepares to go deal with the Skaven. The Skaven have the Altar of Ultimate Darkness and the Gorge. Okay, he's declaring war on various factions, fair enough. Yeah, I forgot that for a second there that I was gonna get the rebellion there. If I can get a non-aggression pact, like she won't declare, Valkia will not declare. Like this is the reason why you should get non-aggression pacts and trade agreements with the faction that you don't want to declare, that you don't want them to declare war on you out of the blue. Because the AI doesn't want to get that diplomatic.
Withdraw. True power unleashed. You waste my time. Powerful enchantress.
Fine.
Alright.
I shall enjoy this.
So they won't just break it willy-nilly. Suffice it to say.
King of Nagaroth.
And that creates an element of predictability over there, which is pretty significant.
Fear me.
The gods give with one hand.
Vicious warrior. We will at least hear. For
Alright, get
Nagaroth.
that.
Take what?
Now, the diplomatic...
Cross me and I'll turn you into a clan rat where you stand.
That ain't worth him much. That's all they have, really.
Great leader.
What is this foolishness?
Alright, so Grumbrindle is coming for you. Be aware of that. Now I'm gonna take Rakta Gorge, get some replenishment there, and then give it to the ogres. You can make some agreements with them. Sure. Grumbrindle is coming. And then I'll leave an arc. Win one battle against the High Elves. Yeah, sure. One really good mod, by the way, to play with someone like Malekith, who has a lot of quest items, is use the auto-resolve quest battles mod, because, yeah, those quest battles are the exact same. I don't get it why Creative Assembly is like, oh, we're so proud of our quest battles. Yeah, we don't care. At this point, people don't give a shit. Now, would that be enough? Maybe.
What is your dark purpose?
I don't care
May their death
about
be slow.
108. Okay.
Slavery becomes
That will reactivate the structure. It will stop working. Structures that consume slaves will stop working after a
foul
while.
sorceries.
Malekith.
Alright, what's the circle of
Fear
influence?
my malice.
I'm going.
Now I'm slowly going to get rid of these guys and replace them with Black Ark Corsairs.
The people are displeased.
My cruelty knows no limits.
The god
Dominate!
Command me.
mistress of Sky.
You. No! No!
Plan Septic is basically in its last legs. I don't need to be careful about Grumbrindle. I think the best thing I could do is set up an ambush stance near the Altar of Ultimate Darkness. And wait for Grumbrindle to show up to lay siege to it. The benefit there is, shockingly enough, since we're both at war with Clan Septic, is the genuine benefit there would be that it would create a situation where...
We are long past
Right, I
words.
don't want that, thank you very much. The benefit in that is, when Grumbrindle attacks the Altar of Ultimate Darkness in that context, it would benefit me if we had the proper field battle, because surprisingly, the AI can take a lot more damage from fighting a siege like that.
Merciless host. Attack. Die, weakling.
Alright, there's enough movement range. This is a weak army, so I don't give a shit.
Full for?
Come, my dealers of death. Take anything of value. I agree. Take this place, King
I'm not in range of the Black Ark. Maybe I could move it in range a bit. No, no chance. Alright. So Black Ark buildings, one of the things that you can benefit from is the slave hold, though I think I'm gonna wait so I can get to tier 2
Dark power.
over here. Oh, this region is pretty good.
Black arts.
Cruel and deadly.
I'm just gonna level her up, get evasion, get the master to a higher level for training purposes.
Lord.
One of the ones that I do want to get is the sacrifice to Cain. The reason is obvious. Lots of casualty replenishment. Alright, he's moving closer to Malice. Malice is gonna eat him alive if it comes down to it. I believe so, certainly. Malice is one of the deadliest bastards in the entire game. Like, he's really scary to deal with if he declares war on me. Then I'm gonna wipe him out. See, I don't necessarily care about this province. I would have been happy to leave the ogres be, but it's like they decided to declare war on me. Alright, so Karen Carr.
I am the Witch King.
Made that particular decision.
Unequaled.
Right, so that's held by Clan Septic, I'm guessing.
I know my path. I will aid you.
Who seeks me? Seeking entertainment. Chosen of Hecate.
Alright, get another unit of Dread Spears.
I don't like you. No fur, no tail.
I'll take that.
God.
Black-hearted dreadlord.
Because it is worth it. Okay, public order won't be too big of an issue here for a moment. Get extra income, get extra growth. I could use some slaves for that purpose, but not right now. I could even ally Clan Septic if push comes to shove, really.
You have entered the blood.
You moke.
Stromfels empowers me. The curtain.
She's gonna get wiped out by the Alifanar.
Noble of Nagaroth.
Huh?
Bringer of glory. Make it fast, and know that I always get what I want.
If she declares war on me, that's a bit of a problem. See, I can settle the Chaotic Wastelands. That's actually a far bigger deal than you might realize. While the Chaotic Wasteland doesn't have any resources, special resources, it's generally a very safe location in the game. So if you can settle there with no penalties whatsoever, that is actually a far bigger deal than one might believe. Alright, so get all of these.
Overlord.
Alright, enter war on the side of ally. I do hope that they stop Grumbrindle. Alright, so we see the Ancestral Throng at finally. Now, one ally to make if you're going to be playing as Malekith is Katep. The reason is, Katep is incredibly strong if he's allowed to grow. The reason he's so strong, and well, I guess I'm glad I made that deal with them, But the reason he's so strong comes down to the fact that
Malekith, King of
the Tomb Kings just get stronger the more the campaign
What
goes
do you
on.
seek?
Alright, so her loyalty is in question. Okay, fair enough.
Enchantress. Druki sorceress.
Right, her loyalty is going low.
myself.
We do have battles we need to win. So I'm going to wipe out the ogres here.
Talk if you must.
For a mortal foe like this, yeah, 60 aversion, minus 60 aversion.
Bloodthirsty!
Depraved. Master of cruelty. We will at least hear you before deciding your fate.
Yeah. Oh. Shit. That's, not exactly great.
Agreeable.
Cain's priestess.
Well, we're gonna have Tarax. People didn't understand why why I said that Malekith was the worst of the Dark Elven Legendary Lords. This is why. You got a lot of shit to deal with. It's certainly the hardest starting position of all of them. Alright, I'm gonna get casualties post-battle, because that's gonna affect the number of slaves you get. Which is going to be important for you.
Unrestrained. Who seeks me? Kati,
Let's
guide
move
me.
closer here.
Vicious dreadlord.
If Nagaron is put under siege, that can be a bit of an issue. But the ogres might decide to withdraw there. And well, I guess we'll find out what Arks ends up doing. He certainly will take Hag Grief as a settlement, but he might not declare war on Nagaron. He doesn't have a lot of options to cross into Grand, and he's also got a lot of enemies. I'm not joking, Nagaron is one of the worst starting areas in the entire game. One of the worst, not the worst, but one of the worst. Well, if he ignores that... Okay, so if he ignores that, I can declare war on them without penalty, which is a pretty big deal.
Supreme sorceress of Grand. The portents are good.
King of the Druki. Fight for me or die. Search it, then burn it. Malekith. Claim it in my name.
Alright. Replenishment is a bit of an issue there.
I approve of these dark deeds.
I just can't maintain more units right now. Not like this. Certainly not like this. Slave capacity needs to be increased, so I need this particular structure. Upgrade that over there. Now, if...
Where's my ladders? Watch you.
Noska!
Dear Dreadlord.
Ready.
Okay.
Unparalleled.
Right, so if they ignore...
How How can the Black Court...
that particular warning.
Merciless.
We're all
Divine immortality.
I will be able to declare war on them and take the Temple of King, which I then can handle over to Hag Grief
Lord of the
to
Black
keep them alive. See, the benefit of keeping them alive, you might ask? Well,
What motive brings you to
oh, I
treat
can give
with
them
us,
this.
Druki?
For Nagara.
There we go. They're alive now. They'll survive, at least. Right, I'm not gonna get rid of that barracks because I'm also gonna turn over this mountain. Either to them, or I'll turn it over to Katep. We'll see. It's a careful balancing act that you need to be careful about. Well, here he is.
and carnage await.
Here comes Grumbrindle. Ready to ruin my day. So yeah, I'm fucked.
I am Malekith, Lord of the...
I'm gonna need to withdraw from here. Go back to Grond. Might lose Grond to the Ogres, but yeah, I can always recapture it. They're only a minor faction. The concern is...
Lord of the Black Tower. Preparing to march.
Alright, so they've ignored that.
What is your dark purpose?
I see you drop scat all over. I like them scared. Yes, yes.
Alright, so it has to be 2 turns. Right, the Ogres have taken that.
Tyrant of Nagara.
Greetings, servants. Black Arks.
Welcome. The Black Court will hear you now.
Alright.
Indeed.
What? Shoot. What you want?
Slaughter the ship.
Prince.
Favored of the Witch King. Master of cruelty.
It's at least got the garrison, and Grumbrindle will not be able to attack it this turn.
Not some smith.
Dread Lord of Nagara.
Traveling.
If I transfer these units over, they'll help secure the settlement. And,
Yes. I admire your darkness. Going ashore.
Calling the winds.
so they can help secure the settlement, and I can just keep getting more of them without really affecting. Affecting things there. Too much.
Your fate looms.
Now, yes, I know I can confederate them, but I won't do so. I need them to stay alive for a bit so they can recruit some units. If Grumbrindle marches on them, that's whatever, right? I can deal with that. Depends if he's marching with 2 armies. That's a powerful army he has. Let me just give you guys an idea. Defeating Malekith as Grumbrindle is a cakewalk. Defeating Grumbrindle as Malekith is not. Whatever you might say about the dwarves, know that they are not a cakewalk. That they're not going to be so easy to overcome. He's going to declare war on me, isn't he? Oh yeah. Okay. So if they can get the full stack of troops, that can help me. Right, so should I disband her?
I will allow this. Oh, very well.
What do you seek? Who seeks the mistress?
Right, she's at war with Sigvald.
Bring Slaneshi, Herald. I forbid you to look upon a
I'll take that.
We all serve.
That's a lot of money. Thank you. Now that's gonna... That can bug out. That's bugging out, certainly. Let's get the tier 3 Nagron. No, I don't need that. Because I've got the barracks anyway.
Powerful enchantress.
So I can get some dark shards with shields.
War and
Noble of Nagaroth. You have business before the Dreadlord.
Blood.
your will.
Okay.
Cain.
Speak.
Mother of despair.
So I'm earning 600 almost from trade. Not too significant. Okay, so he's wiped out. Oh, damn. That's awful. That is not good. That is not good at all. He might be nearby, actually. Piercing bolts of flame for him. Gonna get... Not gonna get noble burn, gonna get hard to hit. That's more important at this particular stage. I want to take Hag Grief back. Now the Black Ark could go attack Hag Grief on its own. Just a pointer to make there. Just need to be careful. Well, it is a mess. Is it Grumbrindle at war with Valkia?
I will destroy them.
Thank you.
Run while you still can.
Oh, he's gone. That leaves the ogres.
Merciless. Offer Warpstone. Make pact. Or die, die! I approve. On my way. Come, Trookie, to battle. Leave nothing behind. King of the Trookie.
It's in contract if you use stay.
Come, fellow Druki. Let us speak.
Consort of
The con...
Master of cruelty.
The Druki are restless.
Alright, so I finally managed to get that particular rite enabled. That's gonna help me a great deal when it comes to
Such slaughter awaits.
recovering from some of the damage I've taken.
Sail, damn you. We have a deal.
Alright, he's not gonna be able to recover.
No.
So I'm just gonna leave him as is at the moment. For another turn at least.
Sorceress.
As for her, put her in ambush stance. And Malekith is level 11. I have lost a bit in terms, and look, sometimes it just might be worth it to sacrifice your reputation
The Gore Queen!
to a degree
Chosen.
in order to achieve your goals. In this case, my goal is to... Wait, didn't I give them the... I did, but they're still recruiting Bleak Swords.
We will at
I'll give
least
them a
hear
bit of
you
money.
before deciding
No,
your
they
fate.
have... Oh, fine, whatever.
As ordered.
Just so that they get better units than just Dread Spears, because those are not worth it.
Forbidden magic.
Right,
Dread
and then
Lord of Nagara.
we will go for Hag Grief. Good.
To the Lich Lord. We have matters to discuss. Very wise.
Alright, the Exiles of Nahek. Now, because my diplomatic reliability has suffered greatly, it is going to be a bit of an issue. Although I could take Hag Grief for myself and let Hag Grief... Hello, Alifanar. Alright, that's fine. But I can take Agri for myself, or give it to Katep at one point. But maybe just keep it for myself, really. I want to deal with Grumbrindle. Stabilize the situation. Now, here's one thing to know about Valkia. If you don't piss her off, it doesn't matter how much you piss off the monk, because they're her vassals, they're force vassals. They won't declare war on you unless you piss her off. Always an important point to remember. Now, he took advantage of that situation to wipe...
Depravity. Blood.
to wipe them out.
What?
If he attacks, fine. I'll fight via the sea. It is better to seek a naval confrontation than it is to seek
Such slaughter awaits.
King of Nagaroth. Carnage awaits. Very well.
Behold, true power.
Alright, I'm gonna move her with me. Alright, Grumbrindle has a powerful army, but
another of my glorious
still not at war with her. He's got various wars going around at the moment.
Lord of Fear.
I'm trying to buy myself a bit of time right now. Just remember, the AI has a lot more money than you do by default.
No limits.
Feel my power.
No, with her, I'm not gonna
And
do that.
put it. Moving on.
I am the witch.
Once I deal with the ogres, situation will stabilize itself. I could give Hagrief to them, or I could keep it for myself. I think there's pros and cons. The pro, of course, is I would keep that territory. The con is Alifanar is a major threat right now,
You have the stench
but so
of
is
drink.
Grumbrindle. I think
The building
Yeah, I think giving them that territory is probably the smarter decision at this particular point than trying to hold it for myself. So I'll give them Hag Grief as well.
I will butcher any who interfere.
Alright. I could potentially use more slave capacity, but not necessarily right now. So I'm gonna get this one for income. Need money. Need to be able to maintain 2 entire full stacks of troops. I'll deal with the Leafanar, but first I'll need to march my armies to deal with the angry dwarf. Get our Cauldra back. Now I wish to emphasize that this is not a horrible campaign. The Dark Elves are still a strong race, but it's like you make one wrong move at Malekith, you're going down in the ditch. You lose, like, Nagrand is incredibly vulnerable. Grand, which I took, could be very vulnerable as well. I might have ended up in a war with Valkia if things had played out differently, like if she had taken that territory of Grand. I might have ended up in a situation where I would have had to spend a lot of money. Maybe a declaration of war against Grand earlier could have helped with that. Those are some of those things, right? But Valkia is meant to take them out. Grand itself is a dark fortress. I kind of got lucky there in a sense. But she does have a tendency, they do have tendencies to wipe out settlements. So it's not like, oh, this only happens once, right? No, it happens a lot. We need to get driven by vengeance. One control is not going to matter all that much. I need that one upgrade. Okay.
Feared by all. Die!
I'm gonna use Malekith to attack.
Yes.
Because he can replenish. That's a lot of slaves to just pass on, I'll be honest with you.
Black-hearted dreadful.
I shall enjoy this.
Limitless power.
Dreadlord.
Prince's Herald. No, Slaneshi Herald.
Noble born. Tyrant of Nagel.
Okay, is the sea under our control? It's shared.
Welcome. The Black Court will hear you now.
For Nagaroth.
Okay.
Artisan.
I wouldn't want to confederate with them right now. If I wanted to confederate with them, I would have done it earlier. No, I don't want Tyrant. I want War Leader. Like, the control is beneficial. 5% income. It's beneficial. Not gonna lie. But post-battle loot, like, you get the choice here. Get either an economic benefit, which isn't irrelevant. It is very relevant. However, here's why I would choose this. This will ensure that you can make like 20,000, 30,000 when sacking settlements. That matters more than a passive income benefit. So getting War Leader, far better from my perspective. I still have free skill points. I'm gonna... I think I should get Chill Wind, because like Chill Wind is a really powerful skill. I don't necessarily think the other ones are worth it, though could be. It's a hard one. See, okay, so these three, you want them. Okay. Then I want Absolute Power, Sadistic, Eternal Hatred. Alright. Let's see about other skill points. She's gonna get Earthing. He's gonna get Line Breaker as well.
Cruel and deadly.
Okay, and hard to hit, 2 points. More income from slaves. Saves do generate income after all. I wouldn't be surprised if Grumbrindle did decide to show up very soon. Right, so 13 turns for that, 3 turns for Winds of Magic. Okay. All well and good. Now, the ogres are not at war with Hag Reef. I kind of forgot to wipe them out. I'm sure I'm gonna regret that at one point, but I don't have the time to deal with that. The Skaven are now not at war with Hag Reef. I am. But the Skaven don't have the... They don't have the army capacity to attack me directly. And maybe keeping them alive will make things easier to deal with Grumbrindle. They can make a bunch of weird decisions. Alright. Yeah, the loss of reputation is gonna bite me. But if Malice Darkblade declares war on me, whatever. He's powerful, but he's also... Like, the thing is, AI kind of underutilizes him as does a lot of bullshit moves. And there, boys and girls, is the imminent and defeat of my faction. If I'm not careful.
It is the greatest
Okay, so we got quest battles. Can really be beneficial. My passive income has increased a great deal over here. Gonna get this to a higher level for masters. Get it for slave capacity because you do need them. We get the Warherd. So so Kazrak got wiped out. Oh, big freaking surprise. Where's that? Got wiped out. Need to be careful. But this is the kind of great opportunity that you really wait for if you're playing the campaign.
Dark magic.
He's not gonna be able to escape this one, is he?
Let us speak.
Prince's Herald. Slaneshi Herald.
It just I don't have enough movement points. Alright, so
I sense another power.
okay.
We have a deal. Double time.
Alright, move him there. Now what I want here is I want both sorceresses. I want it all. All of it. Ronda's doing pretty decently. Let me get some control. To prevent the imminent rebellion that would have taken place otherwise. The Black Ark is not going to offer me a lot until I get to the tier 2. It might be worth it. Well, it will be 3 turns. There is a research to increase the Black Ark growth. Which one is it? Harpies, Dark Shards. I believe there is a research. There we go. Yeah, so you need to get this. This will greatly increase the capacity of your Black Arks, faction-wide.
Artisan of
How many people like me, surprisingly?
Destroy them. Talk if you must.
Right. He's still not at war with Valkia. He might end up in a war. Though I'm not sure if he met Valkia, because Valkia is here.
Do not dare to look at me as if
So who's she at war with then? I mean, I'm glad I'm not at war with her, but still. Okay, so she's at war with Sigvald. This tends to happen a lot more than one might reason, because she's decided to expand north.
Cain abhors diplomacy.
She's also at war with Sigvald. Poor Sigvald. Poor foolish Sigvald.
I only deal in...
But yeah, factions are not going to be willing to deal with me as a result of, well, my poor reliability rating. Sure, a lot of diplomatic options are going to open up.
very brave.
Now, Alifanar might declare war on me, might march his entire army against Grond, though he has his own issues. Make no mistake on that. He might have declared war on me, he might seem very powerful, but he does have his own problems. I'm kind of hoping that army there did not march out.
I have never been much.
Do I want to get them involved in this war? No. Alright. Let's wipe out that army that dwarves do have. Put an end to it. I should be strong enough to do it. Even if one of my armies is far away, but... yeah, he took some damage.
All-powerful sorceress.
Lord of the Black Tower. Merciless host.
This will give me a lot of slaves.
My cruelty knows no limits. Seeking entertainment.
Black-hearted.
Well, spreading terror.
Okay. One of the things I need to do is get Reaper bolt throwers. Otherwise, sieges are going to be a bit of an issue.
My powers are yours. The portents are good.
Alright, get this to a higher level. The diplomatic juggling act continues. What can I say? 2 more turns there. Get this to tier 3, to get the gold mine to tier 3. Get all that lovely, lovely juicy income. Get another master with confident this one.
Master Druki.
Eventually, as I get these masters higher and higher level, one of the things you will want to do with them is to just leave them for the income from sales. But you do need a good amount of benefits with that to make it work.
Fear my malice.
Now, I'm still in a positive area right now, but how long that will last is a question mark itself.
Lord of Fear.
Okay, Clan Karand. Oh, they finally declared war, okay. We got that mission with Alifanar. Is Alifanar?
I am eternal.
Okay, so he's at war with the Drown, Nagrand, and myself, okay.
Divine Prince's Herald.
Ruthless.
Okay, their army got wiped out, but they're still beneficial to have alive, because they can... like, they're getting this to tier 2. And slowly but surely they'll start rebuilding. Maybe I should give them a bit of money.
Your fate looms before the Black Court. Good luck. As ordered.
Now, I do want an alliance with Kateb, but not at every cost.
Victory is mine.
I may not have a lot of territory. That's your problem, Halibron. Well, there he is, gentlemen. The mad dwarf himself. The very angry dwarf himself. If he takes the chill road, I'm gonna wipe him out. It's no big deal. And it's just a question of stabilizing the situation. Like, here's how you win as Malekith. You need to deal with Grombrindle. You need to deal somehow with Valkia. You don't need to wipe them out, but you need to just stabilize those damn borders. You're not going to be able to make good deals with Alifanar, that's for damn certain, but...
preparing an ambush.
Cruel sorceress. No rest.
setting forth.
Everything to prove.
Fool.
But you need to try and
Enchantress.
stabilize the borders.
I've skills
Taking
for
out
show.
Grombrindle and making a deal with Valkia
Make
is
it
a great
fast,
way to
and
do
know
so,
that I
because
always get what I want.
Slanesh.
if you make an alliance even
Death
with Valkia...
walks.
What is going on here, my dudes? Wow.
Vicious warrior.
Okay. So we got Kazrak over there. If I make an alliance with them... We got Kazrak there.
Black-hearted dreadlord.
Alright, one more turn there.
What?
That would be significant.
Curse this snow.
But the loss of slaves does affect my income.
Sorceress of
So
the
here,
dark
I'm going to
convent.
ambush him.
Dark sorceress.
Hopefully. Although I'm pretty close. But I'm trying to deter him as well from attacking the Chill Road. If I wipe his army out...
We have no friends.
if I do wipe out his entire army... I mean, if he wants war, we'll have war. But if I wipe out this entire army out, I can then split my armies. One goes on the offensive against his territory. There we go. The Angry Dwarf has been put to rest. I've gotten his defeat rate. One of the armies can go deal with Harkaldra. Making that deal with Valkia is actually a pretty significant affair because you secure your northern flank. And Nagaron, if you secure all of it, can be a great situation.
Slaughter calls us.
Alright. If you manage that. Alright, so you're getting favored. Alright. Experience. Proclaim your favor. Sure.
King of the True. We shall not rest.
He's gonna go here.
Moving.
She's gonna go take that.
True power unleashed.
Assuming she can. Though I don't think Grombrindle has any other armies.
My axe
Yeah.
here.
That's what you need to know. They are, like with most factions on Legendary, it's two armies that's usually the limit.
Take what little
I want the
they
slaves. I'm gonna get... Yeah. Get the upgrade 1.
I will aid you.
Foolish thing, no!
Drowsy.
Lord of the Black Court. Plotting a course. Cruel and deadly.
Alright. Oh, he's gonna need a lot more, isn't he? Fine. Let's get 2 Blackheart Growth and slaves per turn, as well as getting this to level 2 finally.
King Malekith.
For Malekith, I'm gonna want the Ward of Cain. Don't bother with the Ward of Karti. It's pretty useless most of the time. Chillwind. No, not Chillwind. Sea Dragon. And then Chillwind. Yeah, well, Ward of Cain. But you do want that extra armor. You do want to get that hard to hit. Blade Mastered. Like, you may not want to go all the way here. Although, Gaze of Malice with a couple of points in Chillwind. Yes, that could be great. Just bear in mind you're gonna sacrifice the blue line for that. Like, you can get some of the magical skill tree. You may not want to get it go all the way there.
The people grow restless.
Right, so we get the ability to recruit Death Hags. I am going to do so. Sorceresses, K-Knight Assassins. Let's get to work.
Do not vex us further.
All of them.
Witch elf priestess.
And another sorceress. Shadow's the best, but it's not the only one. And Cruel is a really, really good one that you shouldn't ignore. All right,
My skills are yours.
Okay, she's level up. Let's get Shadow, Smoke and Mirrors, and that will do.
What do you see?
She's gonna start marching for that. Okay, he's level up. Get hard to hit, abhor, weakness abhorred. How much am I spending? 137. Okay, good.
I am the witch.
Weakness abhorred. Get hard to hit.
Artis, dear
Dark Lord.
Prince's Herald.
I wish Confederations gave you money would give you a bigger
Dark
reason to
Souls.
do it. Well, there are reasons, but still. Like, look at this situation though. I'm taking advantage of the fact the AI has more money, so I can build, so I can have them build up, so then I confederate with them. It's a bit silly, I feel. I think direct control should give you bigger benefits than literally just, yeah, confederation. Well, I think confederation should give you bigger benefits than just pure military alliances like this. I might need to move that army back to Nagrand if Kazrak starts doing it. Oh, that's good. That is good. That is incredible. Oh, it's Clan Septic. Have they declared war on Hagreave? Uh-huh.
Dark sorceress.
Can Malekith get it?
Merciless. Fine. No mercy.
Doesn't seem like it. I'm gonna get rid of... No, these guys instead.
Fear me. Malekith, King of Nagaroth.
Observing these thralls.
King of Nagaroth.
Power awaits.
Okay.
Ever closer. Raid and pillage. Searching. Calling the winds.
She's gonna go get that. We got Black Ark Growth. Let's get income from slaves. Going into... income... No, forget income from settlement buildings. Yeah, get this. Well, the research isn't particularly great. It's gonna give you something that is. So, 3% income from slaves added to Tempered of Blood. Although I could just get Tempered of Blood right now directly, and that might be worth it. The other research over here just doesn't feel like it's worth it. The 15, except 15 growth.
Sorceress of Grond. You weak fool. Leaving.
Feared by all. Dry land.
Ever vengeful. Preparing to march. Death follows with me.
If he gets ambushed, chances are high that he survives it. Let's get that to tier 2.
destruction will bring me
I am the Harbinger.
She might be preparing to declare war on me.
Draw your blades, we fight!
Okay, I'm gonna turn Malekith around to deal with the Chill Road, but look, here's what you need to know. I've stabilized the situation. Even if Valkia does declare war on me, whenever she does, she won't do it instantly. I'll still be in a pretty good position.
Cower before my might.
To deal with all of that.
You have entered the Black Court.
Katep still hasn't. A bit weird, I admit.
I approve of these dark deeds.
death awaits them.
Deadly sorceress. Dark paths await. Ready, my nephew.
A lot of heroes coming right up.
Prince's Herald.
Aye?
The loss of
Command
trade is
me.
gonna affect me.
Divine immortality.
Cold.
It is a bit of a shame that Kazrak did decide to show up there where he did. Not gonna lie. Now, Grumbrindle is gonna start rebuilding his armies, but he spent a lot of his income on those armies, and he's not gonna be able to easily recover from that. As you can see, the AI doesn't have unlimited money, and it's spending a lot of the money on structures as well, so.
Death lurks behind every...
Well, that was the war I did expect. But it's fine. I'll work to start stabilizing the situation. So I'm guessing...
King of the Trookie. Come trooping to battle. To the victor, the spoils.
Okay, to the victor of the soils. Please don't give me the plague. That would be great to avoid. We're here. We're gonna get a bunch of economic benefits, including some slaves for control.
Tyrant of Nagar.
Now, they're building an army there.
Grand call.
Alright, I'm just gonna get rid of all these dread spears.
So thrilling. I can feel their power moving amongst them. May their death be slow.
Alright, one turn until that. 6:31, 16. Once I stabilize the situation here, things get a lot better very quickly.
I will destroy them. Leave no stone unturned. The Dark Convent. Fell sorcery.
Black-hearted dreadlord.
Dark indeed.
That plague is gonna be a problem. So will that.
I'm not much
So
for...
will that.
What? Slaneshi Herald.
What does the Altar of Ultimate Darkness provide?
Limitless.
Not worth it. I mean, the one Lord Recruit rank, sure, why not? But everything else, not really.
What motive brings?
Artisan.
I'm...
Prince's Herald.
Malekith, King of Nagar.
Gonna get 1 point in Chillwind.
Malicious and cruel.
You get the Pendulum.
cruelty knows no limits.
No, not Hecate. Cain. Get the name and training. That will give him Discouraged or Ward Save. I'm gonna go with the Ward Save. Discouraged would be a great effect, but I find that getting quite a bit of Ward Save can be pretty nice. No lie about that. Now both of them are gonna get extra casualty replenishment rate because of those death hacks. Getting heroes is pretty useful for these guys. Don't focus on the ranged ability of assassins. Assassins are not there for their combat ability. They're there for other reasons. Okay, why do you bring assassins, Knight assassins? Well, you have a couple of choices, right? You can get a bunch of benefits like fear, for instance, or dark venom. But more importantly, you can get income from slaves over here. And yeah, they're pretty decent in a fight. But they're kind of like witch hunters for... they're essentially like witch hunters. Now, if I move here, the Mung are gonna start marching against me.
Not a chance.
Your lands will suffer my...
Now, it is my hope
An edge.
that her armies are further to the west.
Actions speak louder than words.
So did he get wiped out? Well, we'll find out. Anyway, this army gonna march against Grumbrindle and the Spire and the Eldar Spire. Malekith is gonna hold the line against Valkia. I know Valkia is gonna take Ashrak. Well, her vassal is gonna take Ashrak. Her vassal's likely only got one army though. Two at most, but I'm gonna start conquering that corner. The important bit here, by stabilizing the situation, like Grumbrindle is finished, he's not gonna be able to stop the army. Okay, fine. More enemies. More enemies. Joy. Maybe I can make a deal with the orcs, that small orc faction. It's a wonderful state of affairs that's gonna completely blow out of proportion. The thing is though, as long as you keep your enemies contained,
we will make them bleed.
You can win.
Lord of the Black Tower, King of the Tree. Let none live. Revenge cannot be rushed.
You know nothing.
Powerful sorceress. Spreading terror. Setting forth.
Dread Lord of Nagara.
Alright, get a bit of income there. Get more here. Get this to level 2 as well. No, I don't have the the money right now to maintain that.
Slaneshi hero.
Dreadlord.
That confederation would come at a really bad time. I just need her to hold Clan Septic in check. The mistake I made here was that I accepted that deal with Clan Septic. It would have been far better had I just continued to fight them. That way my reliability rating wouldn't have been affected, my trade agreements, non-aggression, I wouldn't have even ended up in a war with Valkia. But now I am. It's not necessarily the worst thing. If I take her Dark Fortress, that's a lot of money. That's a ridiculous amount of money over. Now fighting Valkia is going to probably require both my armies, so I don't have time to deal with Katep, really. So I'm probably going to pass on this entire region to my lovely friends. the clan here.
Malekith, King of Nagaroth. Fight for me or die. My cruelty knows no limits.
Depravit.
Druki.
Prince's Herald.
Dark deeds. Bloodshed becomes me.
Torture them first.
You are mistaken.
Her will. We have lives to end.
Alright. Grumbrindle is in a bad state of affairs right there. Should really fight the battle manually. I will win. Because all of these guys are melee units. I've got a lot of Dark Shards and Black Ark Corsairs. My guys are better in range. My guys are better in melee. Because these Black Ark Corsair units are also really good. Like, the reason you want to... They're the best units in the Dark Elven roster overall. Is they're really good against infantry and heavily armored infantry as well. You've got hard counters to the dwarves. Like, this is the thing. Malekith is easy for Grumbrindle to deal with. Not because Malekith's army is weak, but because Malekith's has got such a miserable situation to deal with. It is unpleasant. But as far as I'm seeing it here, I'll kill Grumbrindle, help stabilize. Oh. Yeah, he might be coming. He might be coming, but it is manageable. All the same, like, believe it or not, this is still manageable. Nagrond is not going to fall. That's a reality people need to understand. It's like, Nagrond is an impregnable fortress at this point, because it's tier 3. And believe it or not, that alone is very significant. The towers on a tier 3 settlement for the Dark Elves make it so that they can basically win virtually any siege almost on their own. You had the Black Ark army here, over here. You had the garrison together with that. Together with that situation. There is zero freaking chance that this army here takes over. Ignoring the fact that this army is going to intercept them and do a lot of damage as well. Now, I've made mistakes in this so far, but I hope this has been helpful to you. It's just, it might seem, it might seem odd to have a campaign plan where instead of going directly after your opponents, you're going directly after allied factions. But here's the benefit of me going after Grond, which I screwed up by breaking my reliability rating. The benefit is Valkia likes that. And because she likes that, she's less likely to declare war against you. This is the thing you need to know. The AI is predisposed against you, but they're not so like, oh, I must declare war on this guy. No. The AI has its own enemies, its own foes, and its own logic. And you need to understand that logic in order to win. If Valkia declares war on you early on in campaign and shows up with her full fucking stack of troops, yeah, that's GG. You need to prevent that. You can either bribe her if you have enough money for her, or you can declare war on her enemies in order to prevent that from happening. If I had not messed up my reliability rating, chances are she wouldn't still not be at war with me, which would have given me opportunities to deal with the other issues I have. But even now, just the fact that I got a couple of turns head start is still a substantial benefit for my campaign. And one that I intend to fully utilize to my advantage if I were to continue playing this campaign. But this is the early game, first 30 turns, I've stabilized the situation, there's nothing really more to show about it. Like, what would I do after this? Here's what I would do, because I know exactly what the map is looking like. Like, these greenskins are holding quite a bit of territory, Katep is moving against them. Katep has done really poorly. Like, Malekith would take out Valkia, because I know she's not here, right? It's like, I haven't used the Fog of War until this point. I absolutely know she isn't here. I know she is way over here because she killed Sigvald, right? So she's gonna be a menace, but she's not gonna be an immediate menace. That's what I bought. I bought myself time. If I had not made that deal with Valkia, here's what would have happened. We would have ended up in a war, one against each other. Maybe I win. Maybe she does a lot of damage. It ends up being hard to win. But here's what very likely would have happened. Sigvald would have smashed into all of us. Myself, Helebron, Valkia with full force and wiped us out because he has that power. He got wiped out by the combined forces of Helebron and Valkia in this particular campaign. But that's because I didn't declare war on Valkia. I didn't make any positive deals with Grond. I attacked Grond myself. Attacking someone's enemies is a good way of improving relations with them. Now, it would have been great if I had taken Ashrak without it being burnt to the ground by her. But as a result of that, I'm in a much better campaign situation. That right now, I kill Grombrindle. Okay, I take the Dracula Spire. I give all of that to them. Like I start giving all of this territory to these guys, right? And or maybe even confederate them. Sure, why not? Let's go for it. But I do all of those things, and once those things are done, once I stabilize the situation here, like this army would march north, take Ironfrost, Glacier Encampment, and together with Malekith would take her Dark Fortress. Or Malekith himself could take the Dark Fortress, because Valkia's army I know isn't here. I knew well in advance that it wasn't here. And the reason I knew is because I know how that AI wasn't gonna just like sit around with its main army doing absolutely nothing until, you know, she declared war on me. But now she's out of position and vulnerable. And my territory, because of that, is actually safe. Yeah, it's safe. And this is what you do as Malekith. You have to divide and conquer, more or less. You can't fight everyone on your own. Your territory is way too exposed for that. You can't just go after everyone. And there is a tendency, one that I personally have, and one that I've even shown in this, where if you're playing a Dark Elf, it's very easy to get 2 armies, but maintaining 2 armies, building up an economy, building out, can be difficult. The reason it's easy to get 2 armies is because, one, the Black Arks themselves give you a significant upkeep benefit, and you do want to get them regardless. And secondly, because you get so much money from sacking settlements. So that's why it's easy. But it can create situations where you get carried away with it. Anyway, Costin here signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, enable notifications. Stay tuned for more. If you do enjoy my content, consider supporting me by PayPal or Patreon. Also, if you are looking for help with your campaign in Warhammer Free, please send the email in the description of this video. I'm looking to start a series on that. I'll see if people are interested. Stay tuned for more.